Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. I gotta tell you, after such a massive run up this past month for XRP, it's been impressive to see that it's been holding the range that it has been holding these past several days or so. There's always the chance that it could go lower, but interestingly enough, out of the analysts that I follow, the reputable analysts, all of which believed that XRP would be breaking out of the 7-year symmetrical triangle that it was in to the upside. I'm going to show you a perspective from a bunch of them today that think, they're not complete in unison, but many of them think what is most likely next is a move to the upside. And why? Because as one analyst blatantly put it, this is a quote, buy-side pressure appears to be mounting. And then he said, rip to new highs. Now, as far as I'm concerned, it's a virtual inevitability. But there's also other reasons to be excited, and I'm going to start with that. So the strong majority of this video is going to be specifically about XRP. But, the whole market moves in tandem. It's an interesting web that we live in, and you'll see everything's connected to everything else in a way. And there's very good reason to be optimistic that this is the moment, outside of just looking at XRP. But before going further, I do want to be clear, I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. All right, I'm recording late yet again, or is it technically early? Because now it's the morning. It is 1:49 a.m. Central Time, so it just became Saturday, December 7th, 2024. We have XRP at $2.39, Bitcoin at 99,316 bucks. In case you missed it, though, today, I'm going to call it today because I didn't go to sleep yet. It's not tomorrow. It's not actually Saturday in my book until I go to sleep and wake up. Okay, them's the rules on the Moon Lambo channel, right? So today, Bitcoin did hit upwards of a little over actually $102,000. So it briefly was back in six-figure range, falling back below. So at some point, the broad expectation is, regardless of whether or not there's a pullback first, and some dispute that, regardless of that, there will at some point be a strong move for Bitcoin, conviction to the upside, which is what you would expect. So even though the opportunity for life-changing wealth, very clearly at this point, it's not with Bitcoin. Not especially if you're not talking about this market cycle anyway. But there is a lot of opportunity with altcoins and obviously specifically XRP here. And that is what is, like, it couldn't be more teed up right this second. And we actually have seen movement, frankly, to say teed up, maybe we're a bit beyond that, as I'll show you in just a second here. And so we got this post from chart analyst Crypto Michael, and he said, everything is about to go ballistic. If you got shaken out on this dip, you will regret it very soon. Yeah, so that's been the case throughout this entire year. So after we hit that peak early on in this year, and I believe it was March, the market overall just kind of trended down. There were some notable drops along the way. People were scared. And I just kept noting, hey, if history's going to kind of rhyme with itself, it doesn't make sense to be panic selling here. And then just because we had this burst to the upside, it doesn't mean that the market's over. We're not seeing signals that you would historically align with the peak of a market cycle. We're just not seeing that yet. And again, like I keep saying, day after day after day, I will tell you when we're seeing those. We're not seeing those. It doesn't mean you can't have big pullbacks, and those do scare people. I understand that. But we're not there yet. In fact, there was this post there were a couple actually, from the blockchain backer. He shared one on December 7th, said, hey, looks like the altcoin market cap, it's about to hit a new all-time high. And then it did. So here you can see today, this afternoon, 2:43 p.m. Central Time, my time zone. Blockchain backer wrote, new all-time high. And again, this is the altcoin market cap here. It says, according to CoinMarketCap, the altcoin market cap has taken out the 2021 all-time high. See, this is when you're pretty much at the point where the most fun part is starting. We're here, and arguably, like, a lot of the fun, it's already been happening for certain coins over the last several weeks, but this is the moment, and it is kind of a brief period of time, roughly speaking. So probably it'll go on for X number of months, whether it's 3 months, 4 months, whatever it is. But we're in the home stretch here, like, folks. We just are. And this is the point where it makes a lot of sense to expect that XRP actually is going to hit a new all-time high, and melt faces in the whole 9 yards. And so, for most of what it is to be an XRP holder, after it has some sort of fun little burst, and which it can happen here and there from time to time, most of the time you're still moving sideways or trending down. But we're in a bull market now. So after you have these corrections to the downside, like we're experiencing currently, and I'm not saying that this is or isn't the bottom. That's not the point. they're short-lived. In bull markets like this, when you're at this phase in the cycle, they are relatively short-lived. You're not going to have to wait months or half a year or a year to see XRP move to the upside. The whole, if history is going to rhyme with itself anyway, which I believe it will, you're going to see it much sooner than later. That is what it makes sense to expect right here. And look at the sign right here, poking above that 2021 all-time high. Just and XRP already burst above its 2021 high with conviction, obviously. There's this post from chart analyst Mustache, and he's sharing the total 3 chart. That's the entire crypto asset class except for Bitcoin and Ethereum. And so he wrote, hashtag altcoins. Wow, total 3 has now taken out its all-time high from 2021. You know what's coming next? Question mark. If not, I will share a chart tomorrow. Well, and he has hint, bull emoji. Yeah, I know. I'll be happy to look at your chart tomorrow. But let me tell you this. I know what he's talking about. It's alt season, baby. Dramatic move to the upside. Dramatic move. And there will be pullbacks along the way. But the next several months, this is where the opportunity for life-changing wealth is. This is that time. And here's another signal. This one's crucial as well, because even though towards the later parts of bull cycles, Bitcoin price can keep going up, and historically it always has until you finally hit the peak. But while that's happening, the dominance drops. While the price of Bitcoin is going up, the dominance drops as more money is thrown into altcoins. And then altcoins have a bigger share of the entire crypto asset class. And so what do we see here? It's breaking down. It's breaking down below this yellow line he's got here. And he just simply wrote season's greetings. And he shared this chart. It's the market cap Bitcoin dominance percentage chart. And so it was recently above a little over 60%. And when he posted this in the morning, it was 55.37%. So it doesn't mean it goes literally down perfectly in a straight line, but it's more or less going to look like that. I mean, the same thing happened each of the last couple market cycles. I mean, in 2017, how high was Bitcoin dominance? I could be mistaken, but I think it might have gotten up to like 65, 70%. I'm pulling from memory, so I could be off, admittedly. But then I believe it bottomed at like 35%. And so the point where it was going down, the price was still going up. I mean, think about this. So Bitcoin peaked at $20,000 just about in December of 2017. But about a month before that, it hit $10,000 for the first time. So you're talking about doubling in price in the last roughly, close to 4 weeks of the bull run. So the price went up, but the dominance was absolutely getting obliterated, and altcoins were running like crazy. And it was just insane. There was a point in time, very brief period in time, where you couldn't buy something and lose money. Like it was basically impossible. Like you could not do it if you tried. Until one day, of course, the alt season was over, and then you could. But you know what I'm saying, right? Here's a post from chart analyst Harry at Geraldo XRP. He's famous in our XRP community for having called the beginning of the biggest XRP bull run in history, December 2017, and the very peak, January 4th, 2018. And here he's talking about Bitcoin. He said, Bitcoin, $102,500, feels like the last blocker to what's very likely a fairly vertical move into $150,000. So he does see us getting up to that level, and a lot of analysts think that that's pretty reasonable. Some of the most reputable analysts that I follow out there will tell you roughly that number. On the lower end, 120,000. On the upper end, 180,000. And then any analyst I follow that says anything above that, they'll say, okay, it could happen, but it's not within the realm of like my base case. It's like even Credible Crypto is like, okay, if things get absolutely Looney Tunes here, 200, 300,000, but it's just like, he does not think that's going to happen. Doesn't mean it can't, but even he'll say that. So, but again, so if we're going to see that, just imagine what that means for XRP and the rest of your altcoins. And the dominance of Bitcoin will decrease. And here he had this post about XRP, and he said, I love this. Keep in mind, this is the guy that did call the biggest, most important run in XRP's price history, the beginning and the end of it. And he said, buy-side pressure appears to be mounting. This flag breaks to upside, then a potential rip to new highs. Keep your eye on this breakout target. Now, he doesn't normally talk like that, because most of the time it wouldn't make sense to talk like that. Most of the time, if you're in crypto, you're in a bear market or you're moving sideways, whatever, you're not in the crazy bull portion. Now we're in the crazy bull portion. So now he's saying stuff in line with the type of stuff that he was saying was going to happen in 2017. This is, roughly speaking, that moment. And pretty much, I'm telling you, all the analysts I follow, in XRP, they called this move, that it was going to break to the upside. Of course, it was going to behave, which I insisted was the case. It was irrational to think otherwise. And then so many of them think that we're not even going to have to go lower first. So I'm not going to make a call on that. I'm not even a chart guy. I have my conviction for reasons that aren't that it's not charted. It's not my own chart analysis. Let's just say that. Now, I do find compelling the arguments that these reputable chart analysts make, but there are tons of reasons that I've been articulating for a long, long time as to why I believe that XRP absolutely would participate this market cycle. But in this video, I'm not going to get into that. That's outside of what I intended to cover here. But Charting Guy, he shared this XRP USD chart, and he wrote, XRP looks ready for a leg higher to tackle all-time highs. And he said that just this afternoon. I keep seeing stuff like this. Crypto Insight UK, chart analyst, thinking the same thing. Just earlier this evening, XRP about to rip again? Here's a post from Crypto Michael talking about XRP. This is yesterday. XRP retesting broken channel as support. Next leg up should start soon. So you see the theme here, right? Then there was this post from December 4th from the Great Matsby. He said, people giving up on XRP when it's maintaining a very important fib level. And so it would be at a price of $2.25. And, you know, analysts, they even if they more or less agree on what the key levels are, you can see slight discrepancies in terms of what the dollar figure is. Like, there's another analyst, I believe in this video I'm going to pull up, where he's like, yeah, $2.20. And so here, what he's pointing at is this fib level 886, $2.25. Kind of splitting hairs at that point. Just thought I'd mention it, though, in case anybody's curious. So that was December 4th, but then he reposted that, and just this afternoon he wrote, after I received numerous comments from people telling me XRP was going to collapse, my support level is still holding. Never assume lower until charts prove they want to go lower. So he seems optimistic that, at least for this immediate portion of this bull run, he seems to think anyway, that we're not going lower than what we've seen. You know, so, and we did, so mind you, I even saw this, $2.19. But if you're talking to an analyst, they'll tell you, okay, you can have a little deviation like that just because it went below whatever the fib level is. You need to burst through that, whether it's a resistance to the upside or if there's support level to the downside like we're talking about here. You can't just like teeter down like a penny or two very briefly and say, okay, well, we just broke through that support. No, it has to be with conviction. It has to actually go, and that didn't happen yet. And so then there's also this post from chart analyst Crypto Wizard. He said, XRP closed bullish and we should see more volatility and eventually further upside pressure from here. So again, another analyst saying, yep, we're moving up. Here's a post from chart analyst Dom. Last night we were nearing a cliff where XRP was close to losing its bottom level support around $2.20. Buyers stepped in and held us up. Price must get back above $2.45 to be in safe territory. Okay, and so as I'm recording this, it's slightly below that, but it was earlier this evening a bit above that. So we'll see what happens here. But he notes, if we can regain that $2.60 plus, will come fast. He also wrote this in a post in the same thread. Here, make that full screen for you. It says, we have tagged the important resistance zone around $2.45. If buyers can flip this level, we run back near $2.60 and we will be in a much better spot. So we'll keep our eyes on it. Here's a post from chart analyst Dark Defender. It says, XRP is trying to break $2.37. Now, that was in the afternoon, and so we know it ultimately did get up above $2.45, and it's pulled back a little bit since then. But he says, if we eliminate it, our target will be around $2.92. Let's see what happens in 8 hours. So we haven't burst up to that, but I just want to share with you various perspectives from a ton of different chart analysts. And again, all the ones that I just highlighted here have been calling for this very obvious breakout. Like, so these analysts, so many of them would argue it's basically the most obvious call that there's ever been in crypto. A 7-year consolidation, that's never happened in crypto. But if you're a chart guy, then you know that type of consolidation, my God, you reach the apex of that damn thing in a bull run. Yeah, of course you're going to break to the upside. It's the most obvious chart that there was, according to tons of these analysts. I don't know for sure if they literally all say that, but that's the sentiment I'm getting. And some of them have literally said it's just so obvious, and so it's broken to the upside. And absolutely, they firmly believe we will be seeing new all-time highs sooner than later. Since we are in this phase of the bull run, we don't have to wait that much longer. So many of us that have been here for years, yeah, we suffered through all of that. A lot of sideways action, a lot of downward price action, all the scary stuff, all that crap. This is not a period where you have to wait long. If history is going to rhyme with itself, no, you do not have to wait long. Believe that. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say, all right? That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.